was a time when Shea Gilgeous-Alexander was one of the easiest superstars in the NBA to like. He wasn't loud, he was just smooth. Just a good reputation. For years, Shea was the quiet superstar in Oklahoma City, the guy who slowly built himself from a promising young guard into one of the most complete offensive players in basketball. But somewhere along the way people talked about him changed. The compliments turned into complaints, the highlights turned into accusation, the footwork became foul baiting, the free throws became unwatchable. And now, after the playoff run, SGA has gone from one of the most respected stars to one of the most hated. Not because he fell off, he didn't stop winning, he didn't become a bad player, but because he was so good at controlling the game that fans started feeling like the game they loved watching itself was being taken away from them. And the postseason made the hatred louder than ever. Because in the 2026 playoffs, SGA wasn't just playing basketball anymore, he was on trial. Every drive was evidence, whistles were a debate, balls became repeated. Every free throw became another reason for fans to say the same thing. Free throw merchant. The real story is complicated. Shea is not just about free throws, it's about how modern fans watch the game. It's what they think a superstar is supposed to look like. Before the jokes and memes, Shea Gilgeous-Alexander was impossible to hate. An NBA lottery pick in 2018, he was not treated like a future face. Not like Zion, Luka, or Ja Morant. He wasn't the guy every network was building shows around. He was a tall, skinny guard with a crafty game, a calm personality, and a lot of potential. Then he got traded to OKC. At the time, OKC was not supposed to become a monster overnight. The Thunder were rebuilding, stacking picks and expected to lose, developing young players. And because OKC was not really threatening anyone yet, Shea was allowed to grow in peace because NBA fans love young stars when they are harmless. They love the underdog story, and once that player becomes next, everything changes. And that's exactly what happened with Shea. At first, he was calm, playing at his own speed. He didn't need crazy athleticism to dominate. They loved the mid-range, footwork. He could pivot, pump fake, spin, and somehow end up with a clean look. But then OKC stopped being cute. Thunder stopped being a young team and became a real threat. They became deep, fast, and disciplined, and one of the hardest teams in the league to play against. Shea became the face of all of it. This postseason, conversation around SGA got out of control. Every superstar got criticized, but Shea's criticism had a very specific shape. It was not just he shoots too much, he can't defend, he disappears in big games. It was one thing over and over again. He gets too many calls. During the Lakers series, Lakers fans were furious. Every Shea drive felt like a courtroom argument. If he got bumped and went to the line, fans said refs bailed him out. If he fell, the internet clipped it. If he smiled, people said he knew what he was doing. He scored 35. People checked how many free throws he took before deciding whether the performance counted. And that's when the conversation fully shifted. Shea was no longer being judged like a normal superstar. He was being judged like a suspect. And once fans decide a player is getting special treatment, they stop watching the game normally. Not seeing the setup before the foul, defender reaching, the footwork, change of pace, and only seeing the whistle. And Shea became so frustrating for people. To be honest, content looks violent. With Anthony Edwards, his drive looks explosive. Luka, the passer shot is magical. With Steph, the jumper looks amazing. But with Shea, it just looks simple. He walks you down, gets you leaning, takes one extra strap, puts a shoulder into your chest, stops, you hit him, whistle, 2 free throws. Not spectacular, just surgical. People get mad. Free throw merchant is one of the most damaging labels. Harden knows this better than anyone. He was one of the greatest offensive players, but for a lot of fans, his reputation became bigger than his basketball. People stopped talking about the handle, passing, strength, shot making, and durability. Fans sitting at home see their defender slide with Shea and think good defense. Shea leans, stops, absorbs contact, and suddenly he is shooting free throw. Now the fans feel robbed. It's not really about every call is right or wrong. It's about how the game feels. And for a lot of fans, watching Shea in the playoffs felt like watching a player who had solved the rule. In the Western Conference Finals against the Spurs, the conversation got worse. Shea was not just facing any team, he was facing Victor Wembanyama, and he looked like the future of basketball. A walking highlight. Every time Wemby blocked a shot, it looked like a movie. Every time Shea got to the line, it looked like a debate. Internet decided whether it was ethical hoops versus unethical hoops, and the story basically wrote itself. Spurs became the fun team, Thunder became the annoying team, Wemby became the future. Playoff narratives do not need to be fair, they just need to be easy to understand, and this one was very easy. On one side, you have Wemby, the alien shot blocker phenom, the guy things nobody has ever seen. On the other side, you had Shea, the MVP guard who fans already believed was getting too many calls. OKC lost to San Antonio. A lot of people did not celebrate the Spurs winning. They celebrated Shea losing. Turning point of the series was not Game 7. It was Game 6. He finished only 15 points on 6 of 18 shooting. Most players would just say it's a bad game. Every superstar had bad playoff games, but for Shea, it became something bigger. When a player has a reputation for getting whistles, people wait for the night when the whistle does not save them. How haters watch. That's how haters watch basketball. Not watching to see what happens, they're watching for confirmation, bro. In Game 7, felt like Shea's game was too dependent on call. The Spurs made him uncomfortable, throwing length at him and protecting the paint. This made him work. They did not let him control the rhythm the way he usually does. Game 7 was Shea's chance to shut everybody up, and that's what made it dramatic. Defending champion Thunder, MVP at home, a moment where the greats usually take control of the story. Shea looked ready, coming out aggressive, hitting shots, getting to his spots, and reminding people free throw merchant label can get fans forget how skilled he actually is. And for stretches of Game 7, you can see why he was the MVP in the first place. Spurs did not beat OKC, they survived Shea. This is different. San Antonio won Game 7. The story was brutal. 111 to 103. The defending champs were out. The MVP was out. The free throw merchant was out. And Wemby went to the finals and Shea went home. Proof Wemby was the new face people wanted. Proof the ethical hoops had beaten unethical hoops.